Hey guys, it's Adi here with Geek on Gadgets, and these are just some of my thoughts on the Microsoft Lumia 435, which is the most affordable Lumia ever. And this is actually more of my thoughts on the budget smartphone in general in 2015 versus when smartphones first came out. So here's what I think. So basically, the Lumia 435 is one of Microsoft's latest Lumia devices, and it's based off the old Nokia X designs, so it has a lot of similarities between those devices. But that's besides the point. So what you're actually getting with the Lumia 435 is Windows Phone 8.1 OS upgradable to Windows 10. And that's what just blows my mind, the fact that this OS or this phone is running the same exact operating system as my Lumia 930, which when it came out was a $500 smartphone or $600. It's running the same OS as the highest end phones, and it runs it in the same exact capability. I mean, that's, I guess, the beauty of Windows Phone, and what I really like about it is the fact that the budget end smartphones are no less capable of running the OS themselves. True, with the 512 megabyte segment of phones, there were some issues with running some apps, but that's mostly resolved now with Microsoft putting 1 gigabyte of phones in almost all their phones ever since they actually started putting their name on the devices. So the Lumia 435 actually only costs $75. Now, compared to my first smartphone, the Nokia N73, which was one of the most popular phones in the world at the time, that, when I bought it in around 2006, 2007, was, I believe, around $500. So, or $400, sorry, it was about $400. And that's about 4 to 5 times the price of this phone. And I mean, that phone had a 2.3-inch screen and I think 40 megabytes of RAM, 43 megabytes of RAM. With the Lumia 435, for $75 or 69 euros, depending on wherever you're placed, you get 1 gigabyte of RAM, a 2 megapixel camera, and a WVGA screen, which is pretty impressive for the price you're putting into it. And I just think it's ridiculous that budget smartphones these days can actually do a lot of things that you wouldn't expect from the highest end phones, maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and they just do it at a ridiculously low price. I mean, $75, I know girls who spend more than that on a pair of jeans or some shoes, and I'm sure a lot of guys are guilty of that as well. So I just think it's really interesting that the budget smartphone segment has dropped so low. And this is true for other devices, not just the Lumia 435, but you also have the new Moto E and, you know, some LG, the Alfino device, which I reviewed a while back. Some of these are really dropping down in the price point to prices where they're ridiculously affordable, where some people will probably spend more on their workly commute every week than actually buying a new smartphone. And it's just really weird thinking how low the price segment can go. And I think if manufacturers keep on doing this, it's probably going to be very ridiculous for them to try and sell people $700 smartphones or $800 off-contract smartphones. So I think we're actually going to see a drop in the overall cost of even flagship devices, even the most expensive devices, probably not from Apple, but in general, we'll see these devices come to a lower price point. Obviously not $75, but something a bit more affordable, like the OnePlus did with its $350 flagship device, which is just as capable as almost any other Android device, and even better than a lot of them. So I think we're probably going to see these prices start dropping down because components are now just ridiculously affordable. It's a lot easier to make things. Smartphones aren't just only for the elite or everyone who wants to use them now. It's an everyday necessity in most people's lives. So I just think that, you know, starting with these low-end phones like the Lumia 435 and such devices, they're actually going to help bring down the price point of the flagship devices, or just make flagships better so that they can charge the same overhaul of $600. And I'm fine paying $600 for a phone if the phone is worth it. But now if we're talking the only difference between this phone and my Lumia 930 is a bigger processor, a better screen, a better camera, those components don't cost the manufacturer $400 differences. So I think it's just something to think about. What do you guys think about the budget end phones? I mean, would you buy a Lumia 435 or other device similar to its price point? What do you think about the huge price difference between the flagships and the low-end devices? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it's a really interesting topic that can open up some possibilities in the future for us. So what do you guys think? That's it pretty much. Don't forget to subscribe, like my video, comment, and I'll see you guys around.